This week on Music Worth Buying, we're going to be checking out Snapshot by the Strypes.
And Blues Americana by Keb Mo.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Music Worth Buying. My name is TJR. I'm a musician and a music writer.
And my name is Robert Kinsler, and I'm a music writer and a musician.
And so we've got some albums that we want to talk about. We're excited about them. I'm excited about mine. You're excited about yours.
Very much so.
We'll find out how we both feel about each other's albums after we've had a chance to check out some audio and hopefully see what you think too. And I'm going to start off this show with Snapshot by the Strypes. Now, the Strypes are from Ireland. They're quite young. They're very young lads. Last check around ages ranging from 15 through 17.
Or something like that.
But
yeah, they're very young.
This is not some little teeny bopper band, let me tell you right now. No, sir. This band certainly evokes British blues rock bands like from the 60s, like, say, the Yardbirds and the Animals, Dr.
Right.
Feelgood. But when listening to this band, I really could feel the raw energy of early, and I want to stress early Rolling Stones, but also a real sense of early Beatles. We're talking the first two Beatle albums. And especially I hear this in songs like the album's opening track, which is Mystery Man, especially the way the guitars are just blended together. So let's check out that track first. This is Mystery Man. Here we go.
Why I gotta act so shy? You drive me crazy when you look into my eyes. Well, you don't know my name, and I ain't gonna tell you 'cause it ain't my game. I got you in the palm of my hand. Well, baby, I can be your mystery man. Oh, baby, I ain't trying to fill you with doubt.
This is one of those really rare cases where I do know the band you've brought in, but I haven't heard the album. I actually heard their EP that they issued before this, and I saw the Strypes in Ireland, actually, which it was a hometown show for them. They opened for Blur last year, and they just knocked me out. I mean, everything you said, like an early Stones or something. Here they are, these young kids on stage, basically, just tearing it up with ferocious rock and roll, mined right out of the early 60s, but it doesn't sound like just a throwback or a tribute band or something. It's a part of them and stuff, and I'm very hopeful that these guys get huge here. I think they've already got to that level in Ireland, but I'm hoping they get that big here stateside.
Yeah, this is the guitar arrangements recall a lot, at least on this song. When I listen to the guitar arrangements, recall a lot. There's only one main guitarist, but I can hear two guitars, dubbed over each other. And the way the guitars are arranged remind me a lot, and the way they accentuate each other's playing remind me a lot of the way John and George were in their early days of the Beatles. And I kind of would make that comparison of the Beatles on some of these tracks if they were a bit rougher sounding and without the vocal harmonies. But I also feel the energy of the Ramones as well.
Yeah, good call.
But these guys are much tighter players. The band is bassist Pete O'Hanlon, drummer Evan Walsh, guitarist Josh McClory, and Ross Farrelly on lead vocals and harmonica. Although I think there's a few tracks where he does a little bit of rhythm guitar. There are 4 covers on this album. The rest are all originals. The band takes part in all the songwriting, but guitarist Josh McClory is clearly the principal songwriter from everything I've been able to gather reading about this band. Now, the album comes in a standard jewel case, and it comes with a booklet as well. The booklet features all the lyrics to the original songs, not the covers, but all the lyrics to the original songs, and lots of cool photos. And the lyrics are easy to read, and of course the usual credits as to who did what and where, how and why. But otherwise, it's nicely put together package-wise, just standard jewel case, but still nicely put together. And so we're going to check out another track here. And this one is called Angel Eyes. You mentioned the Animals a moment ago.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you did. And you saw them live, so you got that totally from the your live experience. This is a very dark blues song, in my opinion, but it also very reminiscent of the Animals for me. So let's check this out. Here we go.
Oh yeah, you fall for those eyes. Oh yeah, you fall for angel
I'm so happy you brought the Strypes in, because it was kind of like my discovery last year. That rare time when I've ever seen a concert anywhere other than the U.S. And here's this young band that really blew me away, and glad you brought him in. And that song, I mean, it reminds me of, like we talked about, the Animals or John Mayall and the Blues Brothers, or 10 Years After or something. Just this great British brand of hard blues, but these guys sound like seasoned masters, not like teenagers. Or something. It's impressive.
We're probably not going to get to hear it on the show, but especially this particular song is just a killer guitar solo.
Yeah.
And we definitely, they're from Ireland, but the U.S. definitely needs more kids like the Strypes. We need more kids like that here in the United States.
Yeah. That would be a welcome change. Yeah,
absolutely.
Now, speaking about the blues, I brought in an American blues master, and although he's not a kid, he's celebrating his 20th anniversary since his seminal, debut in 1994, and that's Keb Mo, one of my favorite,
he's
modern, blues ambassadors. I mean, he's just fantastic. This is his first album in 3 years. It's called Blues Americana, and this, on a recent episode, we talked about Coldplay and how it chronicled Chris Martin's breakup of his relationship. Actually, Keb Mo addresses a rough patch he went through with his wife Robbie, but actually, it has a happy ending. They actually worked it out. I happened to interview Keb Mo not long ago, and he mentioned that in all his previous relationships, if things got rough, he would bolt. He would just get out of there. With this one, he decided to stick it out, and it ended up, the relationship's been strengthened, and they're happier than ever, and all that stuff. And this album really explores the whole thing about, looking at yourself. Hey, what's right with me? What's wrong with me? What's life all about? And these are really rich songs on here. And I thought what we do is and one last thing maybe to mention is, Keb Mo uses humor probably as well as any living singer-songwriter to deliver really powerful and bittersweet kind of messages. And let's listen to a little bit of The Worst Is Yet to Come, because I think this kind of helps, get you in the mood for how great Keb Mo is as a songwriter and a singer.
I'm ready. Let's check it out.
Wrong side of the bed. Ever having that night, I'm feeling it in my head. Lord have mercy. And the day ain't even begun. Well, I got a bad feeling that the worst is yet to come.
And that's The Worst Is Yet to Come. And I thought what we do is gives us this song, or pretty much any song on this album, gives you a nice chance to talk about, not only is Keb Mo obviously featured on lead vocals and songwriting, but just on this song alone, he handles guitars, banjo, harmonica, and tambourine. And elsewhere he does keyboards, and just his musical footprint is all over this. And there's just a real gracefulness about his music and his songwriting that, like I said, it almost catches you off guard. He just comes in with these funny, humorful lyrics, and then but if you really listen to what's happening, these are just great, beautiful songs that that I think further push kind of a little bit the boundaries of blues and Americana, which is probably how he came up with kind of the title Blues Americana. Kind of pushing. I was
wondering where with the title. When I heard Blues Americana, I thought, oh, maybe he's going to do a covers album.
Yeah.
But this is all original stuff and all dealing with relationships.
You're right, relationships. Yeah. And as you'll hear, and this one is more firmly rooted in kind of blues, and I think what people associate with Keb Mo.
Yeah.
Like, I think his first album actually had a couple of Robert Johnson covers, and people kind of still make that association. Oh yeah, Keb Mo's kind of a direct musical descendant from Robert Johnson and that whole school. But this next song we'll hear in a minute is actually very different and shows you kind of where all these little fingers go out to. Blues Americana is a real beautiful package. It comes in a 4-panel digipack, very nice. Really nice picture of Keb there on the cover. And the booklet is great. Easy to read lyrics. And every song not only has the lyrics, but it says who wrote it or who helped him, and then also who played what instruments. And it's just great. And just some really nice pictures here. And just a very nice package and a great way to celebrate a fantastic 20-year career. And hopefully he's around making music for another 20 or 30 years,
Yeah.
Just and this album is really and you may not necessarily get that from listening to it, but when I interviewed him not long ago, he noted that his previous album, The Reflection, wasn't as well received. It did some different things, but that kind of set the groundwork in terms of him learning some other things in the studio and kind of how to communicate some things musically and lyrically. And if that's what took him to get to this place, that was a really important album as well. But again, we want to focus on this one today. But so if you like what you hear on this album, maybe go back and get The Reflection as well.
Okay.
The next song we're going to hear is very different than what we just heard, and let's listen a little bit of this. It's called Move.
Cool.
Times are hard. Business is slow. Flat road, flat road, flat road, flat road. Nowhere to go. It's time to move. Move, move, move. We got to move. Move, move. Get on your feet.
And the lyrics on this song are not as specific as some of the other songs on here. That sounds like he's kind of a more confessional tone, but it has a good dance vibe to it. It sounds like it could be kind of set in a nightclub around closing time, and just a great, and the groove is just undeniable. You just put the song on and you want to keep playing it again and again. It's just very, very, just a cool song.
I found myself being particularly turned on by this song as well. We were discussing, what we were hearing. We were hearing, of course, some blues, some funk, some R&B, some soul. But one thing that stuck out for me was that guitar line. That guitar line really struck me as very 80s. And even 80s Prince, in my opinion, anyways. But yeah, I really enjoyed that song. Really did.
And I think the exciting thing about Keb Mo here is that he isn't afraid to push the envelope with blues and stuff. I remember it's one, like when I talked to Walter Trout, he said, if blues is going to be confined to a museum, it will stop being relevant. People will stop listening to it. And thankfully there's artists like Keb Mo that say, hey, there's nothing wrong with continuing to kind of mine the past, celebrate Chicago blues and Mississippi blues and all that, but try to mix it up a little bit and add your own voice, artistic voice to it. And I think he does that so well. Every time he puts out an album, I mean, just some of his greatest hits, you go back and listen to them and you go, they stand up like the Robert Johnson pieces and stuff. And I think even though he's won 3 Grammys, I think he doesn't get enough attention. And it's well deserved.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a great performer. I was lucky to get a chance to attend one of his shows with you.
Yeah.
And yes, great performer. And like I said, great humor in his songs and great humor in his performance. Absolutely.
Yeah, like Shave Your Legs or Government Cheese and stuff. And it was interesting. I said, Government Cheese, that's kind of sad. It's about people in poverty and that's all they have to eat. And he said, no, it's really about celebrating. Like, look, we may not have much, but we have this. We're not going to go hungry and stuff. Yeah, there's always a bright light at the end. I think there's his songs tackle some pretty tough areas, but I think he's not afraid to say, hey, look, we're celebrating life and let's go with that. And it's always welcoming to play his music.
Very much. Well, thanks for bringing that in,
and thanks for bringing in the Strypes.
Absolutely. So we hope that through this show you have discovered some new music that you're going to want to check out too. And if so, please click under More Info or Show More, however they have it worded here on YouTube, and click the link which links to our blog where you can link to Amazon. We put the Amazon links right here, but we're kind of afraid YouTube, Google is going to smack us down or something. But we really want you to support the artists and all the people that are involved. So please go to the blog page where you can link to Amazon and you can show your support for everybody who made this music possible for you. And once again, please subscribe if you haven't done it yet. And till next time, my name's TJR. You can check out my music at tjrmusic.com and check out my solo reviews here at the YouTube channel. Just click on the YouTube channel and check out the additional videos as well.
And my name's Robert Kinsler, and you can read more of my work at ocregister.com and at musicworthbuying.com.
We'll see you next time.
See you later, everybody.
Bye.